Right, here we go again. Frankie Parsons here, reporting from duty, bringing you the very best recommendations in PC games for the single player. The presentation where I present to you a top 20 of a given genre. That is a top 20 of a given genre. Today's genre is the 3D platformer. Now, a little bit of a different format here today. I'm not going to do a quick guide anymore with these top 20s. I'm going to just show you the top 20 and then I'll do a quick guide on another video for another time. So let's open the curtains and have a look at our 48 genres. There they are in all their glory. I want to actually make sure that I've changed the auto chess battlers because I've decided not to do those anymore. If we have a quick peek at them, I only actually play 3 of these. That's Hearthstone, Dota Underlords and Tavern of the Gods. So I've put all these in the mixed bag section because I don't play any of these others. I tried Hadean Tactics the other day. I tried Gladiator Guild Manager. And you know what? They weren't that great. So I've decided, you know what? Let's do away with the auto chess. Okay, so we'll go back to our 48 genres. We'll get rid of auto chess, the genre, and we'll bring in a brand new genre, which is bit spooky. Woo! The first person puzzle adventure. So we'll do that top 20 in another time. Today it's the turn of the 3D platformers. That's what it's all about. Let's open the doors and place our medals as per usual, and bringing in those bouncing honourable mentions in the usual way. And what you've got to realise with 3D platformers is they come in 2 flavours really. You've got the puzzle platformer, the game where you kind of take a little step back. It's all done at a slower pace. You work out puzzles, you figure it out, and you traverse the environments that way. 3 examples here in our honourable mentions. And of course you've got the run and jump variety where you're jumping around, either jumping on top of monsters, jumping over coins, collecting coins. Usually a very large portion of the game is a collectathon kind of feature, and that's represented in the honourable mentions here by Voodoo Vince, which was an okay game. I played for about 20% of it, got bored and decided to uninstall it. Quite an interesting game, kind of a very certainly a very good voodoo vibe it creates, if there is such a thing. And the 3D PPs, of course, are all the platform puzzlers. Contrast and Hob I've not played yet. They look okay. They don't look amazing, but they look reasonable enough to put in honourable mentions. Europa I did try, found it to be a little bit nauseating, to be fair. You go on the floor and then you turn around corners and then you end up on the ceiling and you've got to backtrack, you've got to figure things out going backwards and forwards. I found it just a little bit too much in that respect, so yeah, didn't quite really get into Europa. Let's look at the bronze medalists. Now, 2 games here I've only just purchased. Pumpkin Jack I bought from the Epic Games Store. Now, hear me out on this one, because number 1, it was 39% reduced. Number 2, there was a £10 voucher. And number 3, I got it for £5.24. So there it is. I've only just installed it. I looked at YouTube clips and reviews. It looks pretty good, but I've not tried it enough to put it in up in those other 3 medals really. Similarly with Last Tink, I've only just installed that, but that looks pretty good as well. Hamilton's Great Adventure is one of those games where you tread on tiles and they sort of crumble away. You got to collect things in a very sort of way where you have to watch where you're stepping because of the squares. Either you slide around or they disappear and things like that. Asterix and Obelix is a pretty bog standard 3D platformer. Moving on to silver. Kicking off with a really atmospheric, very strong puzzle platformer, Candleman, which is more about jumping puzzles. Very good, very atmospheric, uses dark and light very well, lighting very well. A Hat in Time is more for the kids, pretty good for adults as well though. Remember, it's all about gameplay. You can have a game where it involves fluffy toys, unicorns, rainbows and all the rest of it, and you can have a game which involves daggers, vampires and people murdering each other in very explicit ways, but the gameplay is pretty much the same. So that's A Hat in Time. Papo and Yo is an excellent game where you're moving the environments around. You've got this huge monster here, which is like a metaphor for the kid's father, where he's appeased with being given like bottles of drink, but also in other ways he's provoked and he kind of becomes angry and changes the environment for the little lad here. It's all set in like the favelas in South America. Very colourful, an excellent game, very vibrant, very nice to look at. Super Lucky's Tale, very similar to Hat in Time, Asterix and Obelix, pretty bog standard, quite well done for an indie game, but also wonderful and vibrant and colourful and all the rest of it. Let's go to gold. Okay, we're going to do these one by one. Castle of Illusion will take you back to your childhood. Very Disney, of course, very magical actually. like Christmas, a wonderful game. We've got Lara Croft, which is a cross between a puzzler and combat. So it's kind of uses both in equal way. So really inventive, ingenious puzzle design, level design, but also quite good combat on that one. We've also got Skylar and Plux. That'll take you about 7 hours. A very good, colourful game again. Very kind of aimed at youngsters, but good for adults too. And of course, one for nostalgia, the SpongeBob game, Battle for Bikini Bottom, which I've only played one level, but fascinating really. The the level design and simple but very effective. All right, Platinum. The very best 3D platformers you can get. Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy, wonderful game, very challenging, 2D puzzles as well as 3D, excellent level design. You get 3 games in one, fantastic. Now, Psychonauts is very psychedelic, very surreal, very quirky. Came out about 20 years ago. When I first played it, I was absolutely blown away by the design. Really fantastic, inventive level design on that one. We've got Spyro. Again, you enter different worlds. You go around as a dinosaur. Takes a while to get used to the controls. Fairly challenging in some of the levels, but really about collecting coins and a lot of jumping puzzles there. And finally, Yooka-Laylee, kind of completely destroyed by the reviewers when it first came out, but since has sort of gained a resurgence in popularity, and I think it's a great game. You visit different worlds, you traverse huge, quite large areas, and you get deeper and deeper into the levels, and then you finish that, and then you go on to the next one. You can actually, finish a level straight away, go on to the next one, or you can explore all the nooks and crannies there. Anyway, that's it. That's your 3D platformers, and I will see you in the next video. I thank you.